on my phone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'm here today with my beautiful friend Bobby, the amazing numerologist from Canada. So we're Australia, Canada. We're in spring and you're in fall. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And we're here. We maybe should have done 10 at 10:10. Anyway, it's the 10th of the 10th here in Australia today. And if you're watching this now or watching the replay, catch Bobby tomorrow, because I saw he's doing something at, is it 444?
Yeah, at 4:44, on Saturdays in my local time zone, I do my weekly go live. And at the same time, it's also going to be my monthly go live. So it's a very big event.
Oh, wow. So right. So we've got 444 and the 10th month, and we're in a 4-year. Mm-hmm. Anyway, here we are. We're on the Abundance Show. This is where we open our hearts to more love and abundance and creativity is where we're going with this show at the moment, where I'm bringing back creativity big time into my life. So that's going to be happening. Today, we're going to be talking about, got an echo there. Today, we're going to be talking about the energy of 1010, or the energy of this month. And what's really amazing is Bobby says this is like we can have a mini start to the year, because 10 brings us down to 1, 11 brings us to 2, and 12 brings us to 3. And so I don't know about anybody else, but I've been doing some amazing pivoting this month. And I'm also feeling like, as Bobby said, it's a month also for self-awareness, self-care. Mm-hmm. So now I'm just going to hand over to him to give us a bit of a rundown on this energy as it relates to October and the numerology, and we will be doing the cards, and we'll be doing a reading today. And I've got my pendulum here today too, if we need a pendulum as well. So that's where we are. Now, I suppose the thing, we haven't done any. There might be new people coming on, but if people come on, say hi. I can see Francis is there already. I can see some other people there. I'll get my phone out in a minute and share it. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Suzie Cheel. I live down under in Australia. I'm an artist, and how I came to be doing what I'm doing at the moment is I've moved from different fields and that, but I have a story which is lucky to be alive. And in the next show, I'm hoping that this will be on live. So I'm actually writing it at the moment. So that's my story, and I'll pop a link in so people can read about it if people want to know more there. And now I'm going to hand over to Bobby. Bobby is this amazing numerologist who I met over 2 years ago now. Mm-hmm. I met him on Zoom, and then I met him in person here in Australia with his beautiful wife and children. And we were all at a Freedom Fest event. So welcome, Bobby, and welcome to October.
It's a beautiful blessing to be here. I remember it was late. It was and it was Lee's event before the event. She was having some drinks at the hotel, and then we all got a chance to actually meet in person, right? And it was a beautiful time. And my little kids were sleeping by that time. They were really tired out, and they were troopers though. But it was a blessing. And look where we've come from and grown. And it's been month after month that we have a chance to have these conversations. And I like to think that the purpose of being able to do this together, guys, is to appreciate what numbers are going to be in play for the cycle before you and what energy is now here. So we had this conversation a while ago, right? We're like, let's do a 1-1, a 2-2, a 3-3 every day of that month. Let's do an episode on the Abundance Show. So, for having this container that's been set up, something, I guess, evolves over time when we keep doing this. Because, last month we were talking about conclusions, and then before then it was the Lionsgate, and before it was very about intuition. This year has been a very big ride for a lot of us. And so as we go through now to October and that number 1 hits again, it's like a 10. So we're back down to the beginning again. Only this time we're one cycle wiser. We're a few seasons more seasoned, right? We're more tenured in our experience. We've had to go through so much this year, like myself included. I can imagine, just Des just showing up for the fight on this year, right? Like, holy smokes. Like, it's just like the world is like, and you guys had to relocate, you guys moved, and my God.
We moved at the beginning of COVID. We had to move, and we changed states, and we're now in the state where, it's so hard to go across the border. And then Des got really sick. And he was just saying, we're on the beach today, we were talking about the future, where we want to be. And one of the things is, he said, he thinks for about the last 18 months, he's had trips to hospital, whatever else. And we thought last year that was the last one. So that's one of his moving forward is, because we're both doing a lot of Joe Dispenza work. So taking up, seeing ourselves in the future. And the one thing he said this morning is, I want to be fit, healthy, strong, really, have that radiant health and no doctors and no hospitals.
Right.
But his son's very well. He is very well. And, he's even putting some weight on, so which is good.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And my best wishes and blessings to Des as well. But yeah, this year really tested us. I like to think it really did. Yeah. And when you get a chance, we just bought this thing for my kids. It's a ruler, and it's about 6 feet high, 6.5 feet high. And you put it on your wall, and then you mark the kids as they get older, right? And so I like to think October shows up as a good time to stand up against the wall, nice and straight, and to see how much you guys are, and to really feel. Because I remember before, if you guys are watching us month after month, or if you've been seeing Suzie, her journey, sooner or later, you're going to see the mirror, right? And you're going to have to tell yourself that you love yourself. And it's going to be weird. You're going to be like, I don't know, I'm going to cry. And, it's not something that you it's not something you're used to, right? And so the evolution of now, sorry, you got the pocket size heart. There you go. Yeah.
Well, that was something that Bobby had to learn.
Absolutely.
The mirror work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something, I would be curious. And people coming on, can you say hi, say where you're from? And just say who. Right. So who this morning looked into their beautiful eyes in a mirror and said, I love you, Suzie. I love you, Bobby. I love you, Francis. Mm-hmm. And you get tingles when you say that, and it helps your immune system as well, because you're building that love. When you're in love, there is no fear, so you're building your immune system, which is really important for all of us at the moment. Hi, absolutely. Kristen, and so
we give love to everyone else but ourselves, right? We're all sorry coming up. I was just saying that, we always end up giving our love to others, and we never really come back for ourselves in the way we really should until it's too late or it's too serious. And, that self-work, it starts off really challenging, and it's not easy. And as you grow through it, you become more empowered. And that's the space we get a chance to see. The year's not done, but we're at the next level. We got one more to go through and another season's before us. But on top of that, how much have we grown? What have we gone through? What have we experienced? There's a space of reflection of the self. It's October as a 1, especially today, again, as a 1. We look at the whole vibe together and we see 6 energy. And that's the year plus the day plus the month. And it gives us a space of, this is a growing space for you. This is a loving connection that you should take reflection of yourself, take inventory and measure yourself. And of course, that's the work that I do. It's the biggest is numerology, right? Insight and clarity into who you are. But the problem that I had in my life was a bunch of negative ones. I was always about the, I am not good enough. I am not worthy. I can't do that. And then, and I'm, you know, all of that, the negativity of it is where my ones were, as opposed to some of my friends who are like, you got to get it done, get it going, you have to believe in yourself. And I'm like, I don't know what that one means yet. And you know, it came to me later in life. So as I look to these numbers today, and these numbers, it has a very special meaning in my heart. This is, you better believe in your vision, guys. Like, you don't need to be right. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it figured out. But you should believe in it and what you have, because that, if you don't have a pilot in the seat, someone else is going to drive you, and then you'll end up being a horse is much more powerful than a man. And yet, how come we lead them and they're not leading us anymore? Is because we've learned how to evolve. So the space in there is the same thing, right? Are you going to believe in your vision, or, you know, is this time going to waste? Are you going to waste this time? Because the year was tough, and I appreciate it. It took a lot of us out. Some of us have just kind of like gone into hiding. You know, I thought for a long time that, you know, we were just going in a different direction, but I realized how much the world is evolving, and this is a very exciting times.
It's a very, this is an opportunity for all of us to create change. I believe the world is not going back to it was for all of the people who think it might be. And we've all had, well, there are people out there who I hear say, I'll be so glad when it all gets back to normal. Well, we never know when COVID's going to be going away anyway, because it keeps popping up in different countries, in different spots. We have to learn to live with this, and we have to learn to keep going, I believe, and to embrace. I think it's a magical time to really sort of embrace the magic of what we've got within. And for me, it's, most of you know me as a self-love person. You also know I'm an artist. But I used to do a lot of work with people on creativity. And that's what's coming back to me, because I'm back painting and back creating. I'm writing a book, which I started about 6 years ago. And I'm also bringing this book back to next week. This one will be back online with a different cover. And I'm going to send you a copy when it's on, Bobby. And awesome. So there are people at the moment. I did a post recently about, you know, whether people don't like, a lot of people don't like change. It's time for us to embrace change. And I think with what Bobby's saying, with this one, like starting again, okay, look at what it is. Where do you want to be? Either at the end of this year or maybe the end of next year. But what is it you have to change? And I know I've got some habits I need to change. I don't know about you, Bobby, but any habits you need to change, or are you fairly well organised at the moment?
Well, I mean, I'd like to think yes and no. Yes, I have habits to change, and no, I'm not organized. But I mean, the reality for me, I think, is that like this year, you know, I've been very busy, and there's been a lot of people becoming entrepreneurs, and they've been seeking us out. And so there's a space in us that our brand is really growing. And that's made me hide. I've gone in, I'm doing things with my kids. I'm being a daddy. I'm being at home, or I'm being with my clients. And I'm not being out there in the social media public as much as I used to be. And so there's a big transition for me. And in that, I was like, you got something bigger. You have something greater. And then my clients started saying that to me. And they're like, you're amping up. You got something bigger. You got something greater. You're not doing it. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's not my time yet. And I feel that we're in that hiding that says, I'm not ready yet. And I didn't believe in myself. And it's not that it's saying, oh, now's the time. I know what I'm doing. I'm raising my kids. I've got small children at home. I want to be there for them. That's my ultimate wealth right now. I know that my mountains of wealth and power are coming to me in the future. I'm convicted of that. But if I chase that now, I lose a lot of time that I'm not going to get back again. And I think for me, that's wisdom.
Kids, yeah. I think that's really important that you're doing that.
Yeah.
because they grow up so fast.
Yep.
They grow
And
up so
and what a tug of war, because on one side, like, we could ramp this up, and on the other side, it's like, I am, and this is my family, and the times are the way they are for a reason, right? Like we pulled them out of school. We're doing homeschooling now, and we've watched for the first time since I met them, their behavior has actually transformed. And that, for me, I'm like, see what I'm saying? If we band together, we're stronger. So there's a lot of challenge right now, because we've really gone our own separate way from society, and a lot of us truth seekers and pioneers, and we're used to change. And I'm kind of like, yeah, change was one thing that I felt was like a tidal wave that hit me every time it was the morning. I was like, and I couldn't stabilize. And now you learn how to surf. You learn how to go through with it. Win when you win, lose when you lose, and you gain more ground. I don't know, this renewal stuff. Change is coming. Change, whether you like it or not, change is always happening. And so the better you get, the more comfortable you get, the more powerful you are in through it. But yeah, you're right. When you say things like that, Suzie, it really strikes me in. I'm kind of like, oh, I know there's this bigger thing that's like, it's uncovering inside of us. And what do you do, right? Because there's always so much going on. And me and Sally are going through it both. I handle it a lot better. She's going through fatigue. She's working herself to exhaustion. And, I'm like, you got to rest. You got to take it easy. And then for me, I'm like, I have more tolerance, right? But I'm still becoming very tired. And that's that space that says, you know what? You have to pay attention to all that. Because as I let it all go, I realize how much of it is really in me. And so, yeah, I'm appreciative that you're coming back for your book. There's another deck you're coming out with. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So many cool, more back into your art. Like, that's a very intuitive.
Yeah, and not just painting. I had somebody here for dinner the other night. Des, can you get one of those paintings that's on the store, please? I used to do I was a textile artist. I had a textile business for 15, 16 years, where I hand painted and I dressed women who wanted to stand out from a crowd. But I also, through a friend, got involved in doing art quilts, and I started playing with things like this, which is quite different to what it's printed. I've printed this onto the fabric. I've used crayons and I stitch into them. And we had friends here. Yeah, they're quite different. I'm about to start showing people a lot of the other, I suppose, that creative side of me. I did this workshop with people, for those of you who think you're not creative, last 2 weeks ago tomorrow, with entrepreneurs. And most of them, of course, don't have time to create or don't think they can create. And if people have a look on my wall, you'll see a painting from a leading entrepreneur here who said she couldn't paint, not creative. When I asked her what creativity meant for me, she went, like that. And if you have a look on my wall, you'll see a painting of her. And today she's done a painting that showed what her hand looked like as she was painting. But to watch somebody like that go through that process and be so happy with what they had made that they're going to put it in a frame. I now know that there are a lot of leaders and entrepreneurs out there who can really tap into an inner part of their heart through this process I do. So I'm going to let people watch my wall. There's going to be an online workshop, and then I'm doing a program with.
That's amazing.
I know, but as you can see, I hadn't done. He said when I was going off, he said I was so organized, and I went. And I didn't have notes or anything. I did meditate. We did meditations and we did a lot of sharing and things. But it was just, I was in my zone. And I realized I'm in, and I was able to read into people's paintings. So I can take this, my intuitive work goes with that. So I'm really excited about what's coming in.
Yeah, can you open that up together for a second?
Sorry?
I want to open that up with you for a minute. That's like, as an artist, you're also a psychic, you're a medium, you're a connector, you're a channeler. You end up communicating through emotion, through your medium, through your craft, you're also a mentor. You're also in the wealth space. You're also someone who can help someone process some of the more heavier spiritual things that they've got to go through simply by your being you. And now that you've combined them two together, I would appreciate, this is probably one of the most transformative. They get to move their own spiritual energy around. They get to heal some of the deeper stuff in there. There's an intuition in there for them. There's just so much value in there. I'm like, this is like a eureka. So I'm this first time hearing this. You're going to run an online entrepreneur creativity course led by Suzie Cheel. Guys, that's insane. This is powerful. Come on, like, look at the, because the paintings behind you, those are yours. And every time I see them, you get a evoking of. I mean, I keep my cards here before I work with someone. I usually just go and I pick one, right? And like this in this case, right? Look at this one. I picked a card for Suzie.
Now, isn't that interesting? That card came up on Monday. The reading I did on Monday was passion, and it's come up again another time this week. And then I did some readings last week, and I just happened to find an old post that I'd written that was all about passion. So I'm really passionate about helping people find their passion, because a lot of people feel they're doing the right thing. Like I thought I was doing and I mean, I still will do all the self-love that, but it will come within me. So, so I've got a beautiful friend of mine, Liz, to thank for that, who invited me to do this workshop. And I haven't done anything like that. So we did this Sunday workshop, and I'm getting amazing testimonials. And I'll be working with small groups on Zoom. And I'm focusing on leaders and entrepreneurs. I just want to say hi to somebody. I think it might be a friend of yours, Bobby. Hi, Steve. And he keeps saying 444. So as welcome and great to have you here. And guys, give us some love. We like to have some hearts and things as well. So, well, Bobby, that's amazing. I'm going to go back and listen to what you said there, because you're somebody who really tapped into my energy, which I really appreciate. Yeah, so.
Absolutely. And it's such a passion to be able to see that, because honestly, I mean, you're combining. I remember before it was like, I've left art behind. I should get back to my new deck. And it was always like this division between the two sides of you. And to see it come in a hybrid space, I don't know. I feel like you've really put it together. I'm excited to see this. This is going to be a good one, guys. I would appreciate if anybody knows a piece of Suzie that you may want to take. It's therapy. It's really is what it is. Someone because as leaders and entrepreneurs, you got to go through your stuff, people. Like, you can't just be successful and not deal with your limiting beliefs and the challenges and all the stuff that holds people back from being successful. You got to take it on. And sometimes you don't know how to say it. Sometimes you don't feel creative. Sometimes you don't have the confidence. And those are the stories, the walls that you build around yourself. What better, more fun way than pick up some crayons and pick up some art, pick up some paint like you would in kindergarten and literally draw your feelings. And it's so surreal, because this is a psychic medium, right? This isn't something that, you just do for fun. This is something that you can really call through spirit through. So I bless everyone who gets a chance to go through this. You'll definitely see me through your workshop for sure. I love drawing. I'm an artist myself. I've drawn my whole life. So yeah, having that would just be, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, well, and I'm seeing that eventually, everybody can sort of like scoping your own art to out. And what was fascinating was we went through the paintings, each person, what everybody else saw in the painting, because what artists paint is not what everybody else knows. And it's really interesting. But I'll save all of that for the workshop, but it is exciting.
So we talk about the container? I'm sorry, I'm very interested in this.
Okay, fine.
So what's the deal? Like, what do you mean? Are you going to do this for? Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to show this to the alumni. We'll put a small group together, and then a bunch of people are going to come through, and we're going to do this, right? So have you figured the details out yet, or is it still like a work in progress?
It's a bit of a work in progress at the moment, because it's all sort of been coming together, and I've been talking to Yeah, a couple of seven-figure earners who I've done readings for, and they've sort of been looking at what I'm putting together. Will it speak to those people? But what I am going to do, I'm going to do a 1-hour free workshop where I introduce this, and from that I'm going to. Okay, I've just heard 6. It'll be 4 to 6 weeks, and it'll be in Zoom, and it will be with 6 to 8 people. So that, and it'll be probably, the workshops will probably be 2 hours. No, I haven't worked the price out yet. That's Des and I doing some work on that this weekend. And one of the things I could do, Bobby, is that we could do in your alumni, I could do a live free just in there, so that people get an idea of what's going to be happening. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, you definitely need to get that the marketing on that done. And I'd love to see a 2 to 3 hour container that we can use that people can pay to get into. I'm used to doing that, like a group session where you pay $111. If there's a way to do that for like 10, 15 people, and then over 3 hours, we kind of just have a thing, I think that you got yourself a deal. Jason, what's up, guys? Steve, how you doing? Lois, your birthday buddy. Steve, my friend, he just got married last week. My buddy Jason, he's a shaman from the western part of Australia. It's a blessing to see you guys on here. Thanks, guys, for joining.
All right. Oh, that's fascinating. I love having you here. So you're saying a 2 to 3 hour container. Okay, I'll have.
Well, I mean, you know, that's just I try to fit everything into my attention span, right? And I would like to think, is there a space for that? I mean, of course, there's so much. It has so much. Guys, for those of you guys who are jumping on who have not yet seen this yet, we're just getting news that Suzie is about to run an art workshop. Now, Suzie is an intuitive artist. This is someone who's a spiritual psychic and medium, and she's very intuitive with her craft. You know, through her space, he's created oracle cards, if you want to call them. They're kind of like a gratitude deck of cool things. Passion came up again. I think there's something up on my deck. Because I'll tell you, like every time I pick it up, passion or know yourself, it's like this. So those are the ones that I keep seeing all the time. But anyway, as I'm saying, the vibration. I don't want to. I always like to keep your how to use cards at the bottom. So guys, as I'm saying this, there's a container that's being created, and I'm just trying to convince Suzie to do a 2 to 3 hour mini version of this. Because she wants to show something that it's like a 6 to 8 week discovery. In that kind of time, you know what happens? You come to truth with yourself. You get reflection. There's a lot of really cool things that are unfolded of that. So I just wanted to appreciate you, Suzie, for doing that. That's really cool. Very. This is your passion.
I'll definitely be getting that. I was going to put something out this weekend, so I will get the workshop. There'll be I'll do a free intro so people get an idea of what's going to happen. But then I quite love the idea of doing a 2 to 3 hour workshop rather than a 4 to 6 week course, because then if people want to work one-on-one with me to expand their creativity more, they can do that. Or we can do, if there's enough people, I can do, a more intimate Zoom with 4 to 6 people. Okay? Yeah. I've written it all down. I will talk to you later, and it sounds wonderful.
That's awesome. We just get caught, guys. We get caught masterminding. That's what happens when you got this October 10 energy, 10-10. You're all about the vision and what you got to do next and what can you see. And you see it right now, right in front of you, what's happening. We're just stuck. All we want to do is talk about what's going to happen next. I'm blessed, though. You're growing. You look amazing. It's just this power is unfolding, and I really appreciate that. So you're really bringing a good thing to us all.
Thank you so much. I feel like excited within here, and I have. We've gone purple and whatever else. Oh, look, the artist with nails. I never had my nails painted, but just before I was going off to a boot camp, Des said, "Your hands look awful." And we walked past it now, and he said, "Go up, we'll go in." They were brighter than this, but so yeah. Purple, in case anybody wonders, is my color. Now, I love Jason.
Color for my brand too. I love that dark purple stuff.
Jason is saying, art is such a beautiful expression. Yes, it is. And for those of you who feel not artists, art doesn't just have to be paint.
No.
Art, what I will be doing initially will be showing you how you can express yourself very simply with paint. And it's not, somebody said they want to paint trees. I said, no, it's not that sort of class. This is about allowing your expression within to come out. And I can see through your paintings where you need to go and things, which I was absolutely amazed when this came out. So it's really exciting for you.
Well, because you see, for me, I've been drawing ever since I was a kid, right? So like I'll show you a couple of my pieces here, so you can appreciate some of this stuff. But yeah, I love doing stuff like this, right? Superheroes. And
that is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. And so this is the kind of stuff I'm into. And, it would be a beautiful experience to go through a container like that, right? Where you're like, how does your soul communicate?
It would be quite different, Bobby, for you, because your drawing is very detailed and things, and you're going to be using your hands and things like that in a different way.
Yeah, I'm open. I do all kinds. My podcast is called The Solution Artist. So I'll use anything.
Have you launched your podcast? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, actually, it was funny. We launched it, and then it was Spotify and Google, and then we didn't get on iTunes. I was really upset, right? Because I paid for it. Next thing you know, after it was all said and done, Shane calls me and he's like, "Hey, guess what? You're on iTunes." And so I have a podcast on iTunes for a while there now. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna do another round. I'm gonna do another season, so it's gonna be another 25 episodes. But it'd be cool. But look at this! Wow, this is your book. See, this is before the deck.
This was part of a postgraduate course I did at uni.
So how old is this book then?
This book was written I launched it at Blog World in 2008, and I think I finished it in about 88. So It's been for a long while. I haven't promoted it. We're putting a new cover on it. I'm redoing the back. But all of this came, just so people think, all of the words and things that came from this were my professor at uni saying, "Got your thesis started yet?" No. He said, "Go and get a piece of paper and write on it. It's not ending now." And these words just flowed from me. And I had no idea then. So, and it's the reason I want to redo it now. It's emerging. So meditation on the emotions of change. And what are we going through now? Change. Anyway,
absolutely
so I've got
on the book.
So much to plan this weekend so that I don't go into overload.
Focus. Well, because right now you're still in your 3. You're not in your 4 yet.
I know.
So there's a lot of new ideas bubbling up, right? And it's coming to that point. It's December. As of your birthday, things are going to start to, solidify.
Yes. So 24th of December. You always said I still had it. So this is bringing me back to who the truth of who I am and what I want to be doing, and for those people who don't know, these cards came out of my own healing journey. I had a near-death experience 9 years ago. And these came out because I started painting hearts to heal myself. So, and that's the book I'm writing at the moment. It's called Lucky to Be Alive. Wow. I'll put a link here so people can read the story. So are we going to do any cards today, or are we just going to
I think we should. I think we should do some cards for people. Because some of my guys are on here. Guys, you should see some of this stuff.
Right. Okay. So what we normally do before we do the reading is we just tap into our heart. So if everybody just wherever you are, just get still. Hands on your heart. We're going to take in a deep breath. Breathe right into your heart. And another one. And, I just want you to look in front. It's like you're looking on a horizon. But what I'm seeing at the moment is I just saw 111 come up. So we're in this new 1 month, which is allowing us to open our hearts even wider. And as you look on that horizon, see those 111s as being like rays of sunlight, and they're coming towards your heart, and they're cleansing it. They're allowing it for you, time for you to take time for reflection. This is a month where we can all reflect on where we're at. And I want you to ask your heart, am I really tapped in to my passion? Am I tapped into what my passion, what my purpose is? And just listen. My heart just whispered yes. And then just take whatever you've been given. And after this, we'll be doing a reading, and then you might have a journal with you. And you might like to just write down that question. Am I tapped in to my passion and my purpose? And if you didn't get an answer now, maybe just later in the day, get your journal out and ask yourself that question again, and allow the words, just to pick up a pen and allow the words to fall onto the pages of your journal. And now if you have a question you want to ask before I do the cards, for this is going to be a special drawing just for today, for the 10th of October. And we're just going to see what comes out and how this can help us on moving forward with our journey. So let yourself be surrounded in light. Allow that light to come, because when we have the light, we call in our love. And this is also a month for us to give more love to ourselves. And then just breathe into your heart. And when you're ready, just let your hands drop down onto your lap and open your arms. Thank you, Jason. You've got somebody here who's got a birthday on your birthday, Bobby, have you? Lois said earlier something about birthdays.
She's got the same birthday as me.
All right. Okay. So, did everybody tap into their passion? Bobby, did you tap into your passion?
I might have tapped into it.
Okay, so let's see what our focus is. Going to do the first card out is going to be the focus card. This is beautiful. This is a knowing card. I love this card. Knowing you are enough allows you to let go and trust, and then watch your life transform. When I first asked Bobby about focus for October, you'll see I put down reflection, self-love. So this is perfect. This is where we need to focus, because this will help us move forward. Now we're going to see what, so we've got a focus card, and we're going to have an action card. What came up next? Self-love, and then acceptance. Acceptance of yourself. Accept and love yourself unconditionally, and then you will shine your light. So this is perfect for what we've just been talking about as we move into this month of October. And then let's see where we're all moving forward to.
Yeah, because the I am theme of October is a declaration of awareness and state. It's a knowing and accepting of that. Like if you say, I am not happy right now, you're an awareness and accepting that you're not feeling good. Or if you say things like, I'm growing through this, that's a much more empowering way to appreciate that. Or I am going to be okay. I'm going to make this. I'm going to create success here. That's for me, I guess, a beautiful way of putting it in there. Look at that.
So whatever you are asking of yourself, after you've really accepted that you know you are enough, that you really love yourself, by fully accepting the magic of you. And that's by being kinder to you as well. Not being critical of what's going on. If there's things you don't like, just let them go. Let things go. And then say yes to what your heart is whispering to you, to following the path of your passion. So that's
I smile at the word yes, because early in my career, I used to say the answer is always yes. It's just the question. It's the question that matters. If you can't say yes to it, you're asking the wrong question. You're in the wrong space. You have to say yes to life. And that's sometimes we don't say yes to life because we don't accept what's going on. We don't know. We're uncertain. One thing I love about Suzie, Zach, is when we do this, it turns into a conversation very easily. Like you're able to put this together, and like you made these Lego codes for us to use these cards. It's a beautiful gift. You guys got to get a deck of these.
And that's what I love about people say. They say, so I'll do a reading, and then maybe if they've got the cards, they'll add on. But what people say when they get the deck is, it's amazing. Doesn't matter whatever cards that you get, they're able to relate, and it gives you the steps to move forward. Because the yes card, for those who don't know them, is as you say yes to love, to life, and to you, your heart whispers, thank you. So this reading was just perfect for what we were talking about earlier. And that I will put the picture up of them later of what, and so this is what the people, and if you're watching replay, just hashtag replay, and I will be coming back to read the comments as well. So that's really, really important. And as Bobby says, if you haven't got a deck, you need to get one. And I'll drop the link in after this. I can probably drop the link in now. Okay, so that's now, Bobby, do you have anything to add to that today?
Yeah, before we started all this, we were playing with your light ring, and now I realize that it looks like a halo on top of your face.
Yeah, it hits on it.
You got a very nice little angel ring on top of you. Okay, it's perfectly set. It looks like it's there. Yeah, it's so fun. What do I need to say? Anything less, guys? Just enjoy this month. Don't be afraid to get your knees muddy and your elbows dirty, and go out there and get some stuff done. We're still in a 4-year, so it means let's work. Let's get to work. Let's get it done. That means you believe in yourself. You believe in your vision. Accept it. Know it. Say yes. That, if that was spirit talking to you, I can appreciate a lot of us in that space where, we're not going back to the way things were. We have to accept and know that we're okay, that we're going into a new direction. Change is our friend. It's not something that wants to pull a surprise on you. It's something that opens up a new gift for you each time. So you get better and better at that, right? Like just for example, Steve was on our call. His son's graduating. And I remember meeting when he was like 14. And that was like a couple years ago, right? He's graduating now. He's a changed young man. And that's a space that says everything is always changing. And we're the blessed ones who get a chance to witness that change. So don't waste your life, guys. We've got a renewal here. There's a new space for you. Make the most out of this month. Thank you, Suzie. Back to you. Oh, yeah. And also, next month, 11/11. This is literally the most important day of the year.
Thank you. Francis, it just says, I have my own deck. You must get your own. How beautiful is that? Thank you. And, I know a lot of people buy them for their friends. It just amazes me how people say, oh, look what the top card was where I just happened to pick it up. This is about exactly what Bobby was saying. Compassion. Be really kind. Be kind as you move forward. And I think it's really important to step on that path. Step on your passion path, because that's what's going to bring you. What is it I heard Joe Dispenza say yesterday? I was listening to the introduction of his abundance meditation. He said everybody wants abundance, more meditations, but he said what that really is everybody's wanting freedom. And I think Des and I were just talking about that this morning. When I started online blogging, I had a blog called The Abundance Highway, Your Journey to Freedom. And I think that's what we're all moving towards, because that then allows us to expand and to make a bigger impact and to be able to give more, to be able to help more people as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so remember, as you go today, if you haven't done as with Bobby, you have the wonderful mirror there. I'll put them in here. Make sure that you are, as you wake in the morning, you've got your mirror there, or as you're in bed. This is a really good one in bed. And when you wake up and you've done your gratitudes and whatever else, you give yourself a hug and you say, I love you, and feel the tingles go through your body. It's a wonderful way to start the day. Mm-hmm. And I know life gets busy and we forget to do it. And was somebody on here earlier, I know, who was having a challenge. As Bobby says, when you start it, it's hard because you don't believe it. And you're looking in your eyes and you think, oh, that's not me. But as you keep doing it, you change your perception of yourself. And that's what's really important to help us to move forward.
Yeah, you can also just use sticky notes and put them on your mirror, or use a dry erase marker, write it on your mirror, put it on your door when you leave your room. Even sometimes you don't feel like you love yourself. Sometimes you feel like you're angry at yourself or you did something wrong. These messages are still placed for you at a time where you are loving enough to leave it behind. So just, don't try to do this on your own, right? Put it on your phone, put it on the background of your phone. Like,
and remember, you can always put a mirror on your phone. So when you're thinking, oh, I can just pull the mirror up and say, I love it. And when we're really looking, I don't know about anybody else. I've been doing this for so long, but we all get to a point where we maybe need to refresh it and things like that. As people reading my story will find out, I've been doing Louise Hay's work for years, but self-love, because I allow myself to get into overwhelm. And that's why I think let's take this month to get really clear, to really focus.
What a way to say that. Obviously, for me, the only reason why personal achievement and personal development existed in my world is because I was not developed personally and I had not achieved and I was very negative on myself. And so that's why I would like to think I have authority in the space now.
So this is wonderful. Thank you, Bobby. I'm really looking forward to 11 at 11 a.m. will be our next show. And
it's going to be crazy, guys. Thanks so much for watching with us. Suzie, I can't wait for next month. It'll be awesome.
Just stay on for a minute, Bobby, too, when you finish. Okay, guys, remember, love yourself into abundance. Namaste. And thank you, everybody who's been here. Love you all, and we'll see you again next month.